Hi everybody. As I explained on my last video for the Reno Sparks area, I'm going to kind of give you an idea of what people I am talking with are expecting that might happen across the nation and in Reno Sparks for 2022. I'm going to go through 5 bullets or 5 points: rising interest rates, forbearances, home prices, inflation, and then also inventory. We'll highlight each one. Mortgage interest rates. We've seen it already. There has been an uptick of interest rates even the past 2 months. This is what the big banks are thinking may happen as far as interest rates for the year. There is one, the MBA, that is thinking the last quarter of 2022, we could be as high as a 4% interest rate. Forbearances. You can remember that people stopped making their house payments when COVID hit. And so we have finally, in the month of December, across the United States, there is below 1 million people that are still having some issues with their forbearance. There are little over 17% of across the nation are still having trouble making their payment and not able to provide a workout with their lender. Does that mean that maybe we're going to see some short sales or some foreclosed properties? We may have a trickle of them, but not nearly as many as we had back in the latter part of 2000. Remember all those short sales and foreclosures we had. We're going to talk a little bit about home prices. As you know, the Reno Sparks area, we hit a normal price or a median sales price of $545, the highest we've ever been. But this is across the United States. Remember, in August through October, we stayed at $530, and then we went up a little bit, and then sure as shoot, in December, $545 in the Reno Sparks area. Forecasters are thinking that we're still going to have an increase. As you can see, across the average, they're thinking we're going to rise at about 5%, a little over 5%, as far as homes going up in sale. I think this is really conservative. I've talked to other people, looked at other institutions, and I'm thinking Reno Sparks is probably going to be at least double digits as far as increase. And if you watched last week's video, you know that our appreciation went up over 20%. I wanted to show you this graph, and I thought this was quite interesting. Remember, median sales price for December in the Reno Sparks area, a home was $545,000. If you had an interest rate of 3.25, your principal and interest would be about $2,300, almost $2,400. You still have to have your insurance and your taxes and maybe an HOA. But this is your principal and interest. So if we rose up another 10%, or right about 10%, by the end of the year, median sales price would be $600,000. Now, if we go up in interest rates as well, look at the 4%. Your principal and interest on a $600,000 home is going to be $2,864, almost $2,900 just for principal and interest. My recommendation: text me, give me a call. Let's see how we can get you going now, the first quarter of 2022, instead of the last quarter of 2022. When you can see this graph, you're going to be paying a lot more money for a home. Okay, so text me, email me, pick up the phone, let's talk. Let's figure out how we can get you into a home this first half of the year, okay? Inflation. We started hearing about inflation probably November, December. And I kind of went through this graph. We went clear back to 1970 and maybe how home ownership can hedge against inflation. Put your money into a place that's going to continue to grow. You can see in 1970, we were growing. 2000s, I touched on the latter part of the 2000 era, and we know we had foreclosures and short sales. So not so good there as far as inflation. Appreciation versus inflations in the 2000s. But look at 2021, off the charts. And I truly think that this is going to be the case again this year. We're going to be able to hedge against inflation. As I said, we had appreciation of over 20% this past year in 2021. Last topic is housing inventory. My last video, we had 281 homes on the market in all price ranges. Yes, I think we're going to still be low in inventory, and I think as the spring, the second quarter, third quarter come around, I think that we'll probably see a lot of people put their homes on the market. Not nearly as far as a balanced market, but I think we'll have more choices. People have been in their homes probably a couple of years longer than what they normally would be because of the COVID. They've probably said, I've had enough. It's time for us to move. So my thought is that we'll probably see some more inventory. I'm also hoping that our new home builds will go and expand a little bit more as well. Bring a few more homes on each phase or every other week, building more homes. I'm hoping that the supply chain is definitely going to get rectified. We know that we were spending a boatload of money for wood last year, and now that has gone down as well. So I'm hoping that all of that kind of levels out, and we'll start seeing some inventory, some choices for buyers to take, and also move up or move down, like we've talked about. I hope this has helped you kind of give you a grasp of what might happen. I don't have a crystal ball, but what might happen in 2022. If you have any questions, want to get some more information, or figure out how in the world you can get into a home, let's talk. My number is going to be right here, and have a fabulous month. I'll talk with you soon.